Hey guys, it's me, I'm back. This is day 4 of the 12 days of Vlogmas. Still doing this. Today's one's going to be a bit more calm. It's going to be a bit shorter. I'm doing 25 random facts about me. So, let's go with it. Starting off with fact number 1, my full name is Domenico James Vincenzo Lamberti. I'll put it down in the an annotation on screen so you can see my full name. Moving on to fact number 2, I lived in North London for the first 16 years of my life, and then we moved to Hastings. We lived in East Barnet, which is a borough of Enfield, up in North London. Alright, and at number 3, you will find out that I, at one point in my life, I mean, I guess I still am, was a classically trained ballet dancer. So I've done ISTD, which is what I've done the most. I did some IDTA, I also did some RAD ballet. I did it for a long time. I auditioned for the Royal Ballet School a couple of times. So yeah, I spent 15 years of my life doing ballet. Alright, moving on to number 4, I will tell you that I'm allergic to citric acid, which is the bit in like sour sweets that make them sour. It's in oranges, it's in lemons, it's in limes, it's in tomatoes, it isn't a lot of things. And don't worry, I don't go into anaphylactic shock, I don't do anything like that. Just what happens is I come out in a really bad rash and it looks like I've got the mumps, which is not fun for anyone, really, is it? Fact number 5. So when the weather gets cold around here, I actually have to use a walking stick because when it gets so cold, my joints seize up, specifically my left knee. And this is, in fact, the walking stick I use. Alright, moving on to number 6. The job I currently have is a teaching assistant, but fun fact, I am a teaching assistant in the same department that I am taught in, and I actually help assist some of my tutors in their other classes. Alright, and at number 7, you will find out that I went to a performing arts school for a long time. Not as long as I was a dancer for, but for a long time, and I was a child actor for a small amount of time. Alright, number 8. I have actually been on EastEnders. It was a long time ago, I think I was about 7 years old, and it was on a Christmas episode, and I was part of a choir in Walford, and I got to meet Darren and his twin sister Demi. I met Cara Twinton, who played Dawn Swan. I met a lot of cool people that day. It just so happened I also lived relatively close to Boreham Wood, where they shoot EastEnders. Moving on to fact number 9. I have broken nearly every major bone in my body in some way, shape or form, and it is really not fun. I think the only person who has more x-rays in my family than me is my mum, but that's for different reasons altogether. Alright, and fact number 10. I have broken 3 ribs, specifically the bottom 3 on the left side, and the bottom one punctured my lung, and this happened at the same time. Annoyingly, I still had to walk to school. Like, I did it on the way to school, and I was trying to walk home, but it made more sense for me to continue going to school, and then I got rushed to hospital because I was blue. And here at number 11, I will tell you that in my life, I've only ever been in 2 serious relationships. One of which ended, and the woman I was with is now transitioning to become a man, and I believe he's still in this country, and I hope the best for him. And the other one was quite recently, and again, I still wish the best for her. Alright, number 12. My favourite superhero is the Green Arrow. And there is a reason for this, not because of the TV show. I mean, it helps that it's a good TV show. But no, the reason I like Green Arrow and other heroes that don't have any actual superpowers is because it shows that they had to work to get where they are, and that's something to strive for. There are certain ones like Batman and Iron Man whose wealth does a lot of it for them. I mean, Batman's slightly different, seeing as he still can actually fight and he's a really good detective, but like Iron Man is just rich. Ray Palmer is just rich. Oliver Queen had to learn some shit and do some shit. So moving on to number 13, and I've kind of run out of fingers to do it, but number 13 is my favourite supervillain, and my favourite supervillain is the Riddler. Specifically, the Jim Carrey one from Batman Forever, I think it is. God, it's one of my favourite Batman films. It's the Joel Schumacher ones, and they are terrible films, but Jim Carrey's portrayal of Edward Nygma, or the Riddler, is just magnificent. Alright, the next one is number 14, and I have no more hands. I don't know why I even tried. So, my favourite animal is a cross between either spider monkeys or bats, specifically fruit bats. But yeah, it's hard to choose one animal, but if I had to, it'd probably be spider monkey. Moving on to number 15, and this is not going to be a surprise for anyone that knows me in real life or has followed my Instagram or my Twitter for a while. I am a massive whiskey enthusiast. Scotch or Irish, it doesn't really bother me. I prefer single malts over blended, but I don't know anyone who doesn't. But yeah, so if you're ever stuck on what to buy me, you can just buy me a bottle of Jack Daniels or some Glenfiddich. I'm quite easy to please, to be honest. Alright, coming up to number 16, the last phone I ever purchased for myself was in 2013, and it was the first generation Moto G. Now, let's not be confused, I have used other phones and I've not used that phone for probably 2 years, but that was the last phone that I purchased for myself. Moving on to number 17, I am left-handed. I am a lefty. Apart from, I found out, my computer. I use my computer mouse with my right hand, and I just cannot use my left hand for it. You know, I'm a lefty. All right, and number 18, I once worked as a dessert chef in White's. Now, if you don't know what White's is, it is one of the most prestigious men's club or gentlemen's club in London. And when I say gentlemen's club, I don't mean strip club, I mean a place for rich old white dudes, pretty much. Fun fact, I actually served someone quite high up in the government at that time's lunch, or helped serve their lunch. And here at number 19, you will find out that a couple of years ago, I developed a caffeine dependency. For anyone that doesn't know what that's like, it's kind of like an alcohol dependency, or a cigarette dependency, or nicotine dependency, technically. Basically, I could not function without caffeine, whether it be from tea, coffee, caffeine pills, anything like that. I would get unbelievable headaches, and I got stomach pains and heart palpitation, and the side effect I still have to this day is I have very shaky hands, which is why I try not to do a lot of handheld video taking anymore. Alright, moving on to number 20. And number 20 is, I have had alcohol poisoning once in my life, and it is the reason I will never, ever, 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 ever drink sake ever again. Alright, so at number 21, I have a black and white cat called Domino. Domino was rescued. She was abandoned by her so basically, her mum was abandoned by her family when they moved house. They just left the cat there. What they didn't know is their cat was pregnant, and the mum and Domino were feral for about 6-8 weeks. So we got Domino when she was 8 weeks old, and even now she still has some traits. She's now 3.5. She's not the scrawny little thing she once was. She has put on a lot of weight. And here at number 22, you will find out that I still do not have my driving license, or my full driving license. So I am 22 years old. Funny fact, this is actually number 22. I still do not have my full driving license. Not for lack of trying, but some other things got in the way. And here at number 23, I will tell you that I have never bought a desktop PC. I've always built them myself. The exception, of course, is laptops. I've bought a couple of Windows laptops. This is the Lenovo Yoga Book. The one down here is one I'm testing. This is the HP Omen 15, but I've never bought a desktop computer pre-built. I've always built them myself. Moving on to number 24, second to last, I have a real weakness for Chinese food. Specifically, Singapore spicy noodles. Singapore noodles are my cocaine. They are my crack. They are, I feel it. I feel the things. And lastly, number 25. I have worked in retail for a couple of years, but not anymore, obviously. The last time I did was for 18 months, and I was a phone salesman, and I vowed to never do it again, and I haven't since. So there you go, guys. That was 25 random facts about me that you probably didn't know. Some of you may have known some of them. There are some that are quite obvious if you pay attention to my Twitter, my Snapchat, my Facebook, any of those. Some of them were really quite obvious. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, thumb it down. If you want to talk to me, hang out in the comments. And you can also find me at my social medias. I am mobile_dom. Pretty much everywhere it matters. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, I am mobile_dom and all of them. And yeah, that was Vlogmas Day 4.